A bit more knackered than last time. My eyes are streaming because it's very cold. Yes, so as I was saying, whereas a DVD eventually gets mothballed and give it 10 years and people have basically forgotten what model you're doing, with a book it sticks around. When a book's released and it gets its ISBN number and stuff like that, copies go to the likes of the British Library of Congress, places that have every book on the planet. So it's not going to go away. And if you do a bad model, it's going to follow you around for the rest of your career. So in that respect, writing a book such as this is a risk for an artist, because there's always a danger that, say 20 years from now, assuming I'm still in the industry and still knocking out work, that model's got to stick with me and I've got to be proud of it. I've got to be proud of every model I do. So I am. And I've put a lot of work, a lot more than some of you will know about at the moment. Now I have been recording a series of what I've been calling the bookcasts of the making of the book, that hopefully, if I get the okay from Wordware, and I probably will, it's just similar to the Waynecast in that, but it's showing you behind the scenes, how I went about writing the book, where I was at each moment in time, the worries I was having, the times when I was working so hard on the book that it was nearly driving me around the bend. It's sort of a journey. It's a long journey, through from beginning to end of the book. So those will see the light of day probably when the book's being released, all going well. So yes, I'm very, very proud of this book. It's something that, it sounds stupid, but nobody can ever take away. They can't take away the fact that this book will come out. It can't be said that, well, it's only this or it's only that. Let's face it, the first batch of books on any bit of software are important. Something as in-depth as this is very important. And that's why I'm proud of it. And I'm privileged to be part of their, Zbrush's history. I know it sounds a bit tacky, but it's right. So that's what I've been doing for a long time. I've got the other things I've mentioned about the documentary, and I've got some other things planned. There's something else also could be coming off to do with the whole Zbrush and the book and things like that, but I can't say anything on that because that's in very early stages of negotiation. We'll see. But I'm trying to think of a nice cryptic way of putting things for those that know me as a person. Just, I would say, think of a Bob Dylan song. The times they are changing. Those that know me well as a friend know what I'm talking about. Everybody else doesn't. Sorry about that, but some things I've got to get across to people I've known for years. Right, so the book. The cover hasn't been sorted yet. We've held off from upping it onto Amazon and basically letting everybody in the industry know when it's due out. Because you should know me by now, I don't tell everybody everything straight away. I play cards close to my chest because this is business. As well as an artist, I'm also a businessman, so I've got to make sure that the business side's taken care of. Take care of business, it'll take care of you. That's the way I was brought up. So we're keeping that under wraps until the very last moment. We didn't want as well. I'm very big on not overhyping any releases, whether it's DVDs, books, articles, or whatever. I don't like to say, well, here's 12 months in advance before the book comes out. No. I don't believe in hype. This book will be judged by its content and by the people who read it. What I will say is, it's not a magic wand. A certain amount of user input is required. A certain amount of practice. If you create this book, if you practice, you take the information that's within it, then you will be a good artist if you've got it within you. If you expect to pick up the book, read it in a week, and then put it down and expect to be, the next big thing, isn't going to happen. You've got to put practice in. You've got to be prepared to give something up. We all have in the industry. We've given up a great many things. You ask anybody, and they've all given something up. Some of us given up more than others. That's just the way it is. So, at the moment, the personal projects are taking a back seat. Now, the Eddie one is on hold until I get all this stuff out of the way. The Davros one is on hold, so I'm doing some sort of shorter models, sort of half-hour stuff. You know, I did one with like sort of a child's head last night. You know, just things that don't take very long that I can fit in here and there as relaxation. So apart from that, you know, I've basically been trying to find the balance. Now here there in the background there's somebody shooting pigeons with a double-bore shotgun. Either that or this line look like somebody murdered, right? Which means this is going to be pulled by the police. Which would be great, wouldn't it? But anyway, things like that don't normally happen around here, you know. It's rather a nice area. But anyway, so there's a lot of stuff that has been and continues to go on behind the scenes. There's some very sort of impressive, important stuff coming up that, as I say, I'll be talking about as and when I'm able to. But suffice it to say that so far, since the release, especially of the Volume 1 and 2 of Getting the Zbrush, there's been a massive upward surge in my career. But like a lot of people, it doesn't matter what cool shit you're working on, when you're getting paid for it, you can't tell anybody. But if you watch the early Waynecast, you can tell it bothered me not being able to say, look, I'm working on this fucking book, man, you know. But now it doesn't. It doesn't bother me that I'm working on things that I can't tell you. What bothers us is sometimes the lack of time for me, you know. But you sign up for that when you join the industry. When I came in the industry, I turned round, you know, and I realised I wasn't going to have much of a life for a number of years. So I'm just pleased that I'm making money, and I'm making enough to feed my family and everything else. I'm not a rich man, but give me time. All going well. Assuming I don't get something very important pop up at the last moment work-wise, I'll be at SIGGRAPH this year. I would say, for God's sake, don't start bringing Bruce up the sign. You know, get a bit of a grip. I'm only a bloke. Put my pants on one leg at a time like everybody else in the industry. And the idea of somebody asking me for an autograph is a load of bollocks, to be honest. And I say that because people have asked. I know, strange, isn't it? But it's nice to be able to bring the side of, you know, that side of me as a writer to the 3D world. The series on Zbrush for newbies, you know, for beginners, in 3D Creative magazine. Second one is due up anytime. Third one's ready, sort of. They're all ready, you know, but I'm handing them in, staggering them in, because otherwise they're going to get bombed with, you know, 7 articles. Which is great for me, because that means it's out the way, but for them it's more stuff to handle and edit, and, you know, stuff like that. And they do a very good job. And there may be a surprise at the end of the series to do with the book, maybe. So you'll need to buy the magazine to find out what the surprise is and to benefit from it. That's all I'm saying. What else have I been doing? Not a whole lot. Got over the flu. Can't be the arse got it. Kane's got a mild dose. He's getting over that now, so he's out with my parents today. My dad's got it, my mother's got it, and my brother's got it. Everybody's got it except me now. So I'm trapped like the pariah. Well, they all sort of sniffle until like plague victims. I'm just going to have a quick look at how long I've got. Oh, I've got another minute and a bit, so I'm going to start walking. And have a quick drink of my Coca-Cola. You know, I should get sponsored, really, shouldn't I? I should get sponsored by Coca-Cola. Saying that, I'll have no bloody teeth left. But as you get older, you start losing things anyway. You know, I'm always paranoid with drinking on camera, right? That you're gonna, one of those times when you miss your mouth and like it goes everywhere. That'd be hilarious, that, wouldn't it? But yeah, so those of you that have found these two Wayncasts through the one I'm going to put up and record later on in the day 2 sign or whatever, the proper Zbrush announcement. What can I tell you about this? Well, these are sort of a bit like a diary. This is my video diary, normal stuff. Although they've got a heavy 3D leaning, they're not contained to just that. I don't put on my DVD voice, the BBC accent. This is me, with you know, all that taken away. Me as a person, as a normal man, walking down the road, sweating, just basically having some time for me. Walking around seeing some lovely scenery. This is my soul, you know, you can see there. I don't know how clear you can make it out. The hill's going for miles and miles. That's my soul. I come out here and that's me as an artist. I look round, I see beauty and everything, I see art and everything. That's where it comes from. You know, don't say you can take the country out of the boy, but you can't take the boy out of the country. That's right. But anyway, look at the time. Yeah, I've got to get going right now. So I'll see you all in Waynecast 15. So yeah, bye bye.